Hello, I am Nazir Sidiria, and I'm here with,
It's me, Mickey Perry. What? Once again,
and we're here today. The topic for the day is onc relationships and what that means, and it's gonna also be a segue topic for other conversations that we're gonna talk about regarding the masculine and feminine energy. Before we kind of get started about what's an onc relationship, I want to kind of define with you what my definition of an onc is, and that's ANKH for those of you out there who are hearing it for the first time. Um, an ankh to me is the unity of the masculine and feminine energy, divine masculine and feminine energy. When I say divine, a higher frequency vibrating masculine energy coming together with the higher vibrating frequency energy, feminine energy. And together they create a higher vibrational, they birth something. It could be a child, it could be a business, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a project that they do together. But it's masculine and feminine energy coming together, uniting and building, bonding, and evolving to something even greater than what they started before. So, what does
uh,
Ankh represent for you?
for me, the unks, it represents, my handsomeness. No, I'm just joking. But
I was like, what?
I know people like whoa, a new perception. Um, um, yeah, it's kind of the same. Represent to me what relationship represents to me right now is a high vibrating masculine feminine energy. Pretty much the same thing that you're saying. Vibrating at a higher frequency than what's usually that's been going on. And that's the season that we're going off into. So to me, that's pretty much what it is. Higher frequency, doing it, boom. You know.
Okay, so the question, the topic is, what is an ankh relationship? So my definition of ankh is basically that. That's the ankh relationship. What's important for me in that is that it's not just any man coming together with any woman, creating a child, creating a business, creating a life together. It's a higher vibrating, higher frequency male and a high vibrating frequency woman coming together. And what that means or looks like to me is someone who pretty much has worked on themselves. They've done the inner work. They've um, they've dealt with their childhood issues. They've dealt with their inward negative issues. They've dealt with what people would call demons, and they put in the work. Not everyone, no one's perfect, so no one's going to be completely evolved and have figured everything out. But they've actually put in some of the work to deal with some of the things, so they're not bringing past relationships, past baggage, past traumas to a new relationship with someone who's also put in the work with themselves. Imagine putting all this work on yourself and evolving into this being that is truly confident, truly capable and able of going through this life and looking for that partner to do the rest, to continue the process, and then you with this person that hasn't evolved in those areas. So it's two people who have put in the work on themselves, getting together, and then creating life, relationship, a business, etc. And just think how amazing that child would be that's created out of that bond. Think how amazing that relationship would be, how easy it is in good times, bad times, and indifferent that relationship would be. It should just flow. Just think how amazing that business would be. So that to me is the Ankh relationship. And also for me, Ricky, it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. I can have a Ankh relationship with a brother that we're just doing business. A lot of you know I'm a healer as far as I do Reiki massage, yogi, plant-based cuisine and things like that. So I'm into the wellness arena. And to meet a brother that comes in and does those same things and we decide to put a business together, and that's exclusively what our relationship is, that would be an Ankh relationship because he's a higher vibrating man who's worked on all those areas and wants to achieve success with the feminine energy. Um, I also think it's very important that we get that a masculine and feminine energy come together for projects, for business, even outside of a romantic relationship, because creation was created not only through the feminine energy, but alongside the masculine energy, especially melanated energy. We can create anything, we can do anything if we come together. And that's why so many times this world tries to separate us and has separated us, because once we come together, we can do anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about earlier. I had seen a certain spell that that stops a lot of the divine connecting or whatever. It's a lot of work. I think at times we probably underestimate how much work that's truly needed because of the intensity of the spell and the generational curses that's done bonded this energy all into this real tight seagull. You know how you see them seagulls in the magic shows? Like somebody might quote something and then the vibration come out, but their vibration turns into a sign or something. You know what I'm saying? That's the seagull. It's a seagull it's a seagull of resistance in the air that stops the relationship that I think a lot of us have to take awareness of even more to be able to stop it because you can't stop a burglar if you don't know the burglar in your house. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta it's there and it gotta be knocked down and just even myself I've been underestimating even seeing the seagull today even myself, and I was like, whoa.
Can you tell them what happened today? You told me, but can you share
Um,
with them?
well, well, I guess we were having a conversation. Me and my love we was having a conversation, and we were talking about something, and I felt the energy right there, right? Because it was almost making me like just I don't know pick up and respond in a certain way like off top regardless by reflex just boom so while she while I'm talking I feel her irritation to my speech to my speech patterns and in my mind while I'm talking I'm also multitasking another thought like why? Because I'm a cancer, so I can feel this. I'm an empath, so I can feel what she's feeling. And I'm like, but why? Why is she irritated while I'm speaking, while I'm talking? Why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? And what happening is me being almost me. See, when we think those thoughts, we forget to breathe or think of anything else, and so we'll go into that thought, and then we'll get irritated and boom, it don't blew up. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I started breathing, right? I was like, because usually I go into it and I be like, this don't make no sense. But I started breathing. I started like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to even. And then as I come out of it and start breathing, I seen it. Whoa. Like, I seen a literal, um, man.
Was it the equation?
Yeah, it was like equation. It was like a seagull. It was like a bunch of energy was round up like and it was kind of it was thrown because the thing is I off of that I seen like I was in it and I came out of it I seen Brittany like go into a trance like she literally went into a trance and then I looked at her and I looked straight and then I seen it I was staring into it then I kind of went to a trance and I was like woo like if y'all she wasn't looking at me, y'all, and I wasn't looking at her. But we came out exactly the same time on the train and we did our hands and everything like this at the same time. To me, they gave it up like, okay, wow, that was a powerful spell right there because that means it's a powerful spell of resistance sitting in the air right now, just like ready for us to. Soon as we want to go low vibration, thinking it eats on it, then you just feeding it and you know what I'm saying? And we like, damn, I just did work for. Yeah, we just had this conversation. We just had fun tonight, or We just had this great love making session, and boom, here we go again with the bull. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's a powerful spilling of our parents and parent generation of creating, and another entity has also put a spell in the air for us not to be able to come together like that. So both those spells on top of our actions and intent are just holding it like, and it's all locked into our nervous system. It's cold. It's a cold lick.
That brings a whole different conversation. I mean, because I was thinking all these thoughts when you were saying that, like, how did the spells get there? And you said these other entities, but we'll talk about that either later on another topic, because I definitely want to hit on that. But what came to mind was, okay, so I call it an Ankhship. So we know that the Ankhship, that's the masculine and feminine energy bonding together on the same frequency, on the same station. That is the ultimate of everything. We can create and manifest and create anything we want once that energy is in alignment. We do know that right now, in general, and more than in general, but in general, the earth has not been in alignment with masculine and feminine energy. We have feminists out there. We have women bashers out there. We have um, men and women who can't come to. We have the highest divorce rate ever. We have people that have just women who have just given up on men altogether. Men who have given up on women. We have people calling each other out their names and you know changing their lifestyle because they can't deal with the opposite sex. All kind of stuff going on right now. So where how do we get that energy back on flow? Like the average person walking down the street who has experienced whatever they've experienced, how do we convince them with all, like you said, with the powers that be, putting this spells and this energy and all of this out there, and it's through generation this has happened. How do we get back to having a positive relationship with the opposite sex? How do we get the unctions back?
Mm.
That's a deep question. Might have threw too much in the beginning, but I mean, even thinking about that before we even answer the question, where do you see that they put the spells out there? Like for me, I can just tell. Like for me, I think in low income families when they tell you, hey, I want to get on Section 8 or I want housing. Oh, you can, but the father of your children can't live with you. That to me is totally separating the family. You know what I'm saying? That's a tactic to separate the family. Then um, or you have to, in order for the father, you get child support for your father, the father of your children. You have to, get in the system and and work with the system instead of working it out with each other. You know what I mean? There's just different things that are in place. Like those are two of the things for that I see that are automatically set up by this system to have friction between the masculine and feminine energy. Um, I don't know if you have examples of how you see that they put that divide there on a physical level.
On the physical, yeah, they show it in a lot of movies. Because they always show our pain more than they show our victory. In the movies, some movies they ain't good, but by the time a person has watched all the pain,
Right.
the good is just like yay, but dang.
Right.
And so, definitely through media tactics, through medications and stuff. They know what medications affect melanin, psychic mind. They know. And that's from personally experiencing that. Just things like that. It's a super strong, spell right there, and I think we can get over it. We can overcome it. Come it. This is what I feel. I feel that, especially when, the reason why I keep saying it's 2020 come in it's a because I be paying attention to certain things in the sky, and it's a certain thing that's gonna align when actually the next level of strength of Age of Aquarius is gonna come in. So it's kind of like when that comes in, then that means we're not going to be able to give people any leeway on a growth if they say they want to move at this vibration. Then the people who say that they're not there, I'm not there, I'm woo, 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 but then we know, right? But the people like, I'm ready, I'm there, I'm woo, woo, when they say they're going to do what they do, they really got to do that. And other high vibration people got to really hold them to that and see that'll start weakening the spell because if the spell is it feeds into low vibration. So if it's holding no low vibrations there for it to feed, you know what I'm saying, it eventually it'll have to weaken and the other vibration of the unity and have to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I see. Like if you say we ain't gonna cuss no more, right? Then guess what? We ain't gonna cuss no more. If you say you ain't gonna get irritated, even if you get irritated, you know what I'm saying, it's gotta be in a positive way. Well, hey, I'm about to feel this way, Let's take a time, and not just it's gotta be a certain type of accountability though for that and we really can't babysit each other. I think we done got so used to babysitting each other that we don't grew a heart towards it. Towards the babysitting. We have, like you know,
Yeah. I was thinking about, we talked about what high frequency person is someone who's put in the work. And a low frequency person is someone who hasn't obviously put in the work, who may not even see that they need work. They're in denial. They still wrapped up into things that happened to them as a child. They could be 40 years old and still tripping off, mad at cousin Pooh them for jumping them after school and got an attitude with the whole family for it. You know what I'm saying? They haven't dealt with things. I was thinking about when you were talking about the low frequency and leaving it behind. I used to be with someone, in a former relationship years ago, and I remember when I was coming into learning about the universe and law of attraction and frequency and energy and things like that. He was one of the people that helped me really understand a lot of things. And I remember one day calling him and saying, I'm just so irritated, just going off my whole day, just venting about what happened the whole day. And he stopped me. He said, Sideria. And I said, yeah. He goes, it's the full moon. And I said, and he goes, I noticed for the last 2 months or so, you get irritated either the day before or the day of the full moon. And I said, I do? He said, you do. He goes, you really got to be careful about energy and what happens, around that time for you. And I said, wow, I never thought about that. So he talked me through it or whatever. And I was just really trying to be aware. The full moon comes once a month. So the next month came around and I called him up. Yeah, venting about my day. And I think I got a little snappy with him. And he stopped me in mid sentence, his sidereal. And I said, what? He says, it's the full moon. And I said, it is? I didn't even know. I didn't even track. He said, it's the full moon. So I'm going to hang up the phone now and we'll talk tomorrow. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then I started to become aware of that. It took 2 months because it's, 30 days before the next one. But then I started to realize about 2 days before the full moon, I started to get frustrated and cranky and irritable. And that's when I knew I had to go within and do more meditation around that time, really start doing more self work. And not to mention that normally for me, that was the time when, Mother Nature came around for me as a woman. So that also probably played into it as well. But you have to be able to do the work. He showed me one time, and then I was aware, like, okay, let me pay attention to this. This is just something that he's just saying to be saying. And the next month when he told me again, then I was like, wow, there might be something to this. And then the next month he didn't have to say anything because I was aware myself. And then going forward, I would pay attention. Now, if that had been 2 days in a row, I probably would have got it after day 2. But since I had to wait for 30 days, it was a lesson that took a little bit longer for me to get to. I think maybe within that time, he probably had to say it to me one more time, maybe 6 months later. Like, is it the full moon again? Oh, yeah, you're right. I am. But he wasn't the type of man that fed into that energy. Because if that had been anybody else at that time in my life, they would have argued back with me. We would have got into it. We would have got frustrated. Man, you need to do this and this about your day and this. Or if it was aimed towards him, we would have had a full blown out argument. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because my low vibrational frequency would have, jumped on him, and then we would have been going back and forth. That's the difference for me in being in any type of relationship with a higher vibrating male, because they see that I'm going low and they try to help me lift up. And then me, if I'm high vibrational female, then I'm going to see I'm going to acknowledge that I'm low as well, and we're going to work to change it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to pull him down and keep him there. He ain't going to bring me down with him as well. We're going to work together to try to get each other up. Even for him, if that meant getting off the phone with me right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So, and when that vibration calls me on it, I'm ready to change. I'm not gonna be like, well, I don't care about the full moon. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm ready to change right then and there because I'm ready to be called higher.
I think that's the difference right there. That statement by itself, when you say I'm ready to change right then and there, like, that's the secret. That's the biggest secret, y'all, out the whole equation. You put all the equation together and it equals that. Willing to change it right then and there. If your mate or mates or whatever come to you and say, hey, you watch TV too much and you ain't spending enough time with me, or you ain't spending enough time with us, what do? Man, I'm watching my TV. No, right then and there you decide if you want to keep the problem of abandonment going on, or if you want to chill out on your TV time and give that queen more time, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that means stopping doing whatever you're doing is causing the problem, and because it's like a tsunami in that situation, right? If you say, man, forget what y'all saying, what's gonna happen? Billy gonna be Eric going, you know what I'm saying, gonna be floating around somewhere, all because of what, you know what I'm saying, you want to ignore and take away the TV time, you know what I'm saying, to get to the feminine energy. So we gotta want to stop immediately what we're doing. We don't want to say I'm not gonna cuss you no more, and as soon as you get mad, you cussing and on and on and on and on. It's getting retarded, especially I really be tired of saying the same old thing over and over. But it's like our people is connected and hooked into the drama. But now today I seen the seagull. Now I know and understand the power that's there, where everybody's pulling from. And yeah, you gotta be willing to change like this because the seagull's so powerful. You gotta like do damn near about face, whatever it takes, whatever you're going through. If you say you ain't gonna do it no more and you done, boom, you gotta do it just like that, or else the seagull's gonna be more powerful than your will. Your will ain't gonna have no power. No power. You're gonna find yourself going through the same thing over and over again, or to a deeper, darker level than what you thought. Than what you thought. Either or, the same cycle over and over and over again, or more deeper into the BS. That's it.
And I think your mate has to be willing to not get frustrated. If it's something that you've been doing all your life and they call you on it, they need to call you on it out of love and not frustration. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I say, hey, when you do this really hurts my feelings. Mm-hmm. And this is something you've been doing to everybody else and it never really hurt their feelings, right? Mm-hmm. But this one, person you're dealing with, it hurts their feelings, right? Then you have to say, man, I don't want to hurt this person. I'm going to change this. But then you might slip up and say whatever it is that they say or whatever. But, hopefully you're going to slip up right that second. But, maybe a month or two, mm-hmm. you'll slip up or whatever.
You can give him 3 times before you slap him.
But that person shouldn't expect you to change something because you might have been in a relationship for a year. They never said anything. And it was okay for you to say it. So you feel comfortable around them saying it. And then all of a sudden they say, well, I've been frustrated. And when you say that, You need to change it right now. And then 5 days later, you say it. But you got to remember, you were with this person comfortable saying it, never knowing that it hurt them. You know what I'm saying? So they have to give you the opportunity to change it, especially if it's something that you really don't feel like it's a bad thing, but you're changing it because you care about this person. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you both got to check the work. Okay, why does this really bother me when he says X, Y, Z? Why does it really? Is this something I need to go in and do some inward work? Because it's really not that bad to nobody else. And then if you check yourself and you say, I just don't like it. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who says this to me. Then that's when your mate has to say, okay, I care about you enough that I won't say those things to you, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to give people the opportunity to change those things and not just cut them off. Because I feel like if somebody cuts you off, that means they've been frustrated for way longer. They just never said anything and they've never dealt with that. And that's their issue at that point. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah,
But we don't give the person an opportunity to change sometimes. We want them to cut it out. Just like someone who smokes cigarettes. That's to me that's a deal breaker. But if you say, okay, I like this person, the only thing that they don't do is smoke cigarettes, then you can't. If you want to be with me, you gotta stop smoking. Do you really think they're gonna stop smoking that day and never pick up a cigarette ever again that day?
Well, I'm saying if y'all see what I mean is if y'all come up with a plan, because usually high vibrational people come up with plans and time zones to stop things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, but these days, like a lot of people don't even respect the time zones
That's
because
true.
they lead down the other paths.
Right.
You know, so I'm saying with that, I'm just saying when that type of energy pop up, and then you close the doors and you become zero tolerance. Because what happens is if you don't become zero tolerance, at the end it end up hurting too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta watch people because they would use that right there, that little old piece of rope, and you've been on looked up a year and a half later, that person's still working on that thing.
Yeah, and that's why for me, and I consider myself a high vibrational person. There are certain things that you have to be done with before you can come to the table
Right.
to have any type of project, relationship, Ankhship with me, because that when you like you said, it can lead to other things. So that means that if you haven't mastered that yet, then there's probably some other things that come before that you haven't mastered. And I'm not asking anybody to master something that I haven't already mastered myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke cigarettes. I mastered that. You know what I'm saying? So I know the process that you can go through, that you're going to go through, the withdrawals, the weight gain, the weight loss, the irritability. I mean, I know all of that. So I'm willing to work with someone if to change that. However, I don't know if I can do it in an Ankhship relationship because I know all of that stuff is you got to go through a lot of lows, and I'm not willing to tolerate that many lows at this point.
Right.
But someone who's put in the work, you know what I'm saying, and I know what they've been through, and I know that we can understand each other in that process. But as far as like helping my brothers and sisters heal from certain things, I'm there to help. But on a day-to-day on shit, you got to be at a certain level because that if not, you'll be going down. You may go through that road for 5 years. You know, and that's
and that's actually reality. That's a reality that's done took your energy for 5 years because all the other realities is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, that's scary, man. Because man, it's quick. Man, be 3 months past. Man, and then yeah.
So yeah, so that you wanted to talk a little bit. We talked a lot about the physical. I wanted to get more on the spiritual part of it. So we see how low vibration when you don't have an Ankhship, how you can have the arguments and the frustration and opportunities for you to have to help somebody evolve and change on areas that you're not willing to deal, things that aren't acceptable for you. But how do you feel? And we see how physically they've hindered us from having Ankhships. What about spiritually? You talked about the vibration and the frequency that came, the resistance. How do you see the powers that be? Have they influenced us not to have Ankhships spiritually? What do you see them doing right now that shows? Wow, we gotta start working on this.
Well, I see spiritually. So spiritually, spiritually, I would say um, the music, the music, the, the music by itself spiritually, like it's taking out vibrations. You know what I'm saying? The music, you can hear it through the bass these days. Like, you know, it's a you know what I'm saying? That definitely by itself is like probably half the equation.
Did you notice that the younger generations, they don't hear what we hear in that music? They don't, like, I can listen to an older radio station where they play music like maybe we'll go back to like the 70s music, 80s and 90s music, and there's a certain music, I mean, the way the music sounds, the bass, the tremble, all that stuff. I don't know the words, but then when you get to like the late 2000s, like 2010, 2020, 2000, like that, there's a certain sound, like a frequency in the music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what, you can be listening to rock, you can be listening to country, you can be listening to hip hop, R&B. Like you hear that frequency, and even if I like the song, sometimes I still get like an irritated, like oh, let me turn that off. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and dad used to, turn that off. I used to think that they was doing it because the song wasn't good, but there's something in the music that I think is a negative frequency. Is that just me or?
Nah, like high vibrating minds, and not even some vibrating minds that ain't vibrating high can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can hear that ring in your ear. It's the same thing that you can hear in the music when it, because it's made to it's made to flow out of all the major engineers studios in the country. That tune, that hertz right there is spoken. This is what Earth's everything comes out at. That Earth, that hurts, connects with things in the mind and keeps people off the divine track. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, music, spiritually, music is definitely um, one of the things we gotta change that. Like if you want to change even the kids, like you couldn't homeschool your kids and then let them listen to their music. Because then your homeschool don't mean nothing because when they go into the world, their music is gonna throw them off anyway. So they gotta be, even the kids gotta be trained under certain type of hertz, megahertz music. When we get to the level where we're able to block it off. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we gotta get there. Definitely.
I remember one time I had a client that came in for some work at my spa, and I think she was getting a facial from me. And I had spa music playing in the background. Well, the client that I had before her was a Reiki client, and so I had put on some Reiki spa music, and it basically has the spa music in it, but then it has like a little tone with where the hertz is higher for the Reiki, to raise the frequency. And I'm doing her facial, and I'm not paying attention to the little, it's like a little ding in the music. I can't hear it really, you know what I'm saying? Um, but I noticed she was kind of started, getting antsy and stuff on the table. And then the song kind of went back into like a mellow, with the ocean and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden the music came on, like the violin, piano, and it had that little ting in the middle of it. And every time that part would come on, she started, whatever. And something told me, turn this off. Like this is really messing with her vibration. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, can you turn that music off? Can you turn that music off? There's something in it. She freaked out on me on the table. And I was like, wow, like that, it really does matter about what people, they can hear that. And if they're, I don't know if you're off balanced or is she not ready for that to go to that, to be pulled up to that? But it freaked her out. So I was like, ooh, let me turn this off. So I said, yeah. So that kind of tripped me out once. But also I wanted to address the shungite. The shungite stone that everybody, because it's 5G, everybody's talking about 5G, 5G, 5G. One of the biggest things that with the 5G that we really got to pay attention is the frequency. And that shungite stone basically absorbs negative energy. it absorbs negative energy and it repels it away from you. So some of the things that some suggestions are to get you a tumbled shungite stone. Make sure it's tumbled so it doesn't have the rough edges and it will chip off. But you put that in some spring water or alkaline water and you drink it. Um, Also, a lot of people are putting the shungite pyramids on top of the houses close to their dishes, their satellite dishes, their cable boxes, and next to their Wi-Fi units. They're carrying them in their pocket. They're making jewelry for their children. So these are things that you can do to repel some of that energy off of you. We don't know necessarily. I personally don't know necessarily what it's going to look like in 2020 when they start to go into full effect with this 5G. But I've been told that they can, just like the music, they can send a frequency out because if you've seen the poles that they've been starting to put up, they're like one every half a mile. So that means you're not going to be, even if you try to get out of the range of that pole within 6 blocks or so, there's going to be another one. So they're going to be so close that this frequency is going to be everywhere, and you need something to help repel that, especially if it's empaths and you're not learning how to work with um, taking on people's emotions but releasing them. So a lot of spiritual baths, a lot of meditation. If you have a copper pyramid, a Giza or Nubian pyramid going into your pyramid, making sure you're putting stones in your pyramid poles, shungite and loads and stuff like lodestones and all that. Those are some good suggestions to physically repel some of that negative energy as you start to work on yourself. There's going to be bad days when you're working on yourself and you feel low. What are you going to do on those days? How are you going to take the high road, when you got all this low road stuff coming towards you? So those are just some things.
I got I guess on those days like when you feeling low, you need to really figure out what you do. You slap the shit. No, I'm just playing. But
Other than that,
you slap
the shungite
the shungite
out of somebody.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I'm just joking, y'all. Do not listen to me. I'm just joking around.
No, you're gonna mess up your own energy. Yeah.
Well, I was
So.
told to slap you with the shungite. Ooh.
So yeah, and we were talking about how that low vibrational energy is gonna look like a lot like mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's gonna be like, what? You know what I'm saying? These past few years, we've been looking at low vibration energy like, dang, I need to get together. Man, okay, but it means I need to do more work on myself. Cause next year, if you vibe high, you're gonna see that shit as you're gonna be like, ooh, what? Oh, and you're gonna see a lot of people gonna be suffering a lot of major consequences.
I mean, we're seeing it now. People, excuse me, people going to schools and going to the movie theaters and just shooting up the school, shooting up the movie theater. Excuse me, or just
extreme behavior.
Extreme behavior,
like not even thinking, just boom, 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 boom. That the seagull is gonna feed off that. And what's happening? See, the thing about the seagull is strong as hell, and so we're not gonna do any work to make it disappear. We too far behind. What happened is the seagull is going down like this. It's going down. It has to disappear. The seagull has to disappear because of the balance. The earth, everything, the energies has to rebalance. This is the time where, regardless, the universe, everything has to rebalance, reshift. So the seagull is going down, and the higher energy experience is coming in. You know what I'm saying? And so all the people that's with the BS and everything, you're gonna be seeing it. It's gonna be like, whoa, it's gonna be the Lord of low, like, whoa, somebody might be arguing to get into a car crash and kill themselves just for arguing. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. It's gonna take it. Anybody who vibrating is gonna take you out. Sicknesses or worse. So on that, I pray for brothers and sisters over there who gonna have to get their lessons, but also, what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I'm getting to a level where I have no sympathy because if you know that the energy is out there, especially I have no sympathy if you talk about it. If you talk about it and you know, and you got this high vibration of woo woo, but in your lives, you ain't practicing it. I have no sympathy for you going down the drain because you should know better. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real.
Ooh, so that brings up a good point. Okay, you are a feminine or masculine energy, and you've been at a certain level, and you meet this person that has a lot of things on your checklist,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe they don't vibrate so high. They're a potential person. You see, if they just put in, some work on this and work on that and tweak that, they have the potential to vibrate at a higher frequency. You know what I'm saying? You might be here, the scale is way up here, but you might be here and they here, but you see that they got everything that you want on physical. They look physically good. They talk a good game. They trying to learn their own truth, but maybe they don't got it on point on some key areas. But you chopping it up to their life experiences. If they get through, if you can help them work through those things, they can come up to at least where you're at, and then y'all can start building that Ankhship together. Mm-hmm. I think that could be a deadly experience. That could be a deadly experience because you have to stop putting your work in on yourself to teach them everything that you learned that took you years to get to. And then not only that, um, you start to see that a lot of that stuff is a lot of inward work that they have not dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about people that they just need to know the knowledge. I'm not talking about people that's like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know this and I didn't know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody that they've done some really bad things or they're really damaged. Not that they've done some bad things, excuse me, but they're damaged. They're damaged from past relationships. They're damaged from society. They're damaged from their own pain. They have a lot of narcissistic ways. They're not willing to get it together financially because of pain. There's a lot of things that come into play with that. And I'm talking specifically to our women because a lot of times we as women, we have reached a certain point and then we want to get with the man that makes us feel good. He might, oh, I know all the laws of my art, or let's get together, do yoga and meditate. He's all these things that you wanted to, on an outward appearance, it seems amazing, but then he just doesn't want to get up and go to work. He'd rather play video games, or he doesn't have the best relationship with his kids because everything that happened with his ex-wife, she did wrong. It was all on her. But these are things that you overlook when you first get with them because he seems like he's a great guy, and then you get in the relationship, and that stuff starts to filter into your relationship. Now you're trying to pull him up by his bootstraps, and as you're pulling him up, he's pulling you down. And I'm talking to women because right now we're having a spiritual and physical war with our bodies, and they're not only kidnapping melanated women and torturing them and sending them into sex trafficking places, taking them away, but they're cutting out our organs and using them to produce babies, out of our organs. They're doing that physically, but the other war that's going on is a spiritual war, where men and other people are spiritually sucking the life force out of us through toxic relationships, through like you said, the powers and the entities that be in the night. They're coming and they're actually pulling our life force away from us. So not only as above, so below. As this, like Ricky was saying, as this world is being turned like this, they have the power of the melanated woman is amazing. It's awesome. There's nothing like it. So they're not only physically taking what we use to create life, but they're spiritually taking our spirits, our spirits from us so that we can't create life. And what that looks like when you see a woman whose life force has been taken from her, she could be here 2 or 3 years ago, and now her man is here, and he's sucking her dry, not only sucking her physically, but sucking her spirit to where she's down here. And now she seems like she's doing erratic things. She's kind of demonic acting, mentally ill acting, all these things that you never thought this woman could be because she's allowed this person to come inside her, literally, come inside of her and take her life force from her. And that Ankh energy, because it's still an Ankh energy, it's just a low vibrational Ankh energy. So instead of him that you being with the mate that helps you to evolve together, you're here and he's helping you to go digress, and you turn into this person that's even worse than what he is. So you got to be careful. And you know queens like that. Brothers like that. Brothers, same thing. A spiritual vampire. You got to be careful. They might be fine on the outside, but you got to check that spirit. You got to check that spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. So me is, one of the, number one reigning divine masculine energies. Y'all just need to, just patch up. Y'all need to get out y'all egos and just, I got 5 on it. Let's get the best kush. Y'all going after this Reggie and this corn, but y'all don't want to patch up on the kush.
What? No.
Nah. In other words, but yeah, y'all, like for real though, we really do need to deal and really erase that energy as best as we can, especially if we call up on it. That's all I can say. If we calling up on the energy and saying what we're gonna do, then we gotta do that. And we can't be we can't be outside when we should be inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
To speak.
So to speak, we gotta do that inside work. So what's your recommendation for the brothers out there that's listening?
For the brothers, I would say for the brothers, okay, I would say number one thing is we got to know what the black woman has been through. First of all, you got to know what the black woman has been through. Okay. And then you got to know that you got to understand the response and things like that at times. You got to understand the spell that's going on, you know what I'm saying, for the patience factor. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something like over the years I had to build up within myself because back in the days, as soon as 1 or 2 things went wrong, you know, my daddy taught me to disappear. He didn't teach me to verbally hit you. My daddy just say, be gone.
Wow.
So I'll be like, what? So you think you want to smoke cigarettes all day long? Okay. Then you come back, everything, hey, so you, peace. Which, was still bad because I never, it's not giving that person a chance to heal. I'm not dealing with it. I'm wound, I'm bouncing, wound. As soon as it go, wound, wound. I ain't, and so having that patience right there, not just enough patience to help, but not enough patience to get ran the hell over. You know what I'm saying? Because that will happen. Your patience will be useful. You don't just keep on being this way because I know, and so they got to be known that, okay, I got to get it right. Especially if that other person is getting it right for you. You want to make sure, if you tell a woman, hey, queen, I need you to not smoke, and she don't smoke, and she come to you and be like, hey, I need you not cussing me, bro, you don't need to be cussing her because she ain't smoking. You know what I'm saying? Got to go both ways. A lot of times people going both ways, with the brothers. You need to stop doing this, and they stop doing this, but you want to keep on doing this and this that she asked you to, So just that, what I'm saying? Just doing what we got to do as divine masculine energies. And just having the patience there enough to, be able to take, a couple bumps in the road because it ain't perfect, just having enough patience for that.
Do you think that enough brothers really are ready to deal with the Ankhships right now?
No, I don't think just for me, I'm speaking in the last 2 years. I'm saying it's looking at the very top of the food chains to the very bottom of the food chain with the brothers. And what I see that a lot of brothers have not mastered one thing that's totally off, and that's another subject, but lust. A lot of brothers Well, I ain't just talking about intimacy. I mean, lust for power, lust for food, lust to just be in control. You know what I'm saying? Just it's a certain lust that yeah, it's totally, you know, it's totally don't went into what a lot of people call narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? That's that energy. That's that energy that's the one extreme. You know what I'm saying? The physical word is narcissistic, but if you trace that vibration back to the act, you can see. So um, that's definitely something to get under control or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And we definitely want to get with you another day and have a talk about control issues between the masculine and feminine energy. And we were talking about the alpha female, the beta male, and all of that, and feminism and all of that. So um, it's been a really good conversation with you. Um, anything else you want to add to today's topic, or?
Um, I mean, if y'all when y'all want to watch beauty or handsomeness, y'all tune into this show with with high vibrational knowledge and something that's gonna be different. Y'all tune into this show, okay? I wish I had a pendulum. So
Right.
Hmm.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Spa for the Soul with Dr. Sideria and special guest Ricky Perry. We'll be back another day to talk about some other things that's going on. Please stay tuned for just like he said, good topics, things to talk about that's going to help you to vibrate high and to reach your higher self and higher callings in life. Life. Until we meet again, peace, love, and prosperity. I shall.
You're right. Coming for them talks.